Hello, my name is Evangeline Reed, and I want to tell you about the resources Phillips Library has for nursing students. Today, I will talk about the basics of what the library has to offer, talk about how you can easily take advantage of our vast materials and resources, talk about specific nursing databases, and talk about how you can get help. So first things first, the library is a space for you to come to study, to work, heck, to eat your lunch. We are open until midnight, 5 days out of the week. We are open every day of the week during the fall and spring semesters, with occasional holiday exceptions. And we do have extended hours during finals, so even more hours when you need it most that we're open. And I note that during the summer and other holidays or other school breaks that we do have shortened hours. Often it will be 8 to 5. We have the prime spot of being on the corner of campus. So we're over near Eckert Hall on this corner of campus by Gladstone and Marseillaise roads. This is what we look like with this long, low building with the sort of red terracotta brick. And the library is a place where you can do group study on the first floor, talking and all of that good stuff. On the second floor, we ask for quiet for individual study. The second floor is also where you can find our reservable study rooms. So you can reserve a room to work on a project or with a group. You'll find plenty of large whiteboards and TVs that you can plug your devices into so that you can draw out what you're learning or look at something together with your group or work on something as a group. We have an entire computer lab that a lot of students miss. As soon as you walk in, turn to your left, and there is a computer lab there. We also have 2 printers for all of your printing and scanning needs. The relaxation station is what we call the opportunities to take a break and relax in the lobby, things like coloring pages, puzzles, crossword puzzles, things like that. And we do have technology available. So if you're on campus and your computer dies, the library can loan you a charger to get you through the rest of the day. We also have headphones, calculators, and even laptops. We also have course reserves. These are books that your instructor would place on reserve, meaning that it's a 2-hour loan and you can come borrow it and maybe do a reading or copy some pages and then put it back for the next student to borrow. These are something you would ask at the front desk for, the same way you would borrow the technology. We also have anatomy models in the library. And this is another thing that you would ask at the front desk for. You would ask to check out the key to the cabinets in the back left corner of the first floor. Because there are some models that are out. We have a full-size skeleton and some other things that don't fit in the cabinets. But a lot of the models of different body systems and parts of the body, like the eye, are locked in those cabinets. You ask us for the key and you can open those up and use those for some hands-on learning. We also in that corner have things like flashcards and other study tools that you can use. We also have an online tool called Visible Body, which is an interactive anatomy tool. So you can click it and move it around and dissect it by taking parts away. And it also has information about those different body parts or there's different body systems. So those are excellent tools for you as you study and learn about the human body. In general, the library has so many wonderful resources for you. A lot of those are digital. We have a lot of ebooks, academic journals and articles, newspaper articles, and those things are wonderful because you won't hit any paywalls. We've made them available for you. We've paid for them. You can also find physical materials. We have plenty in the library, whether that's a reference book or a fun book or a movie that you'd like to watch. So I'd like to teach you more about how you can search for and take advantage of those resources. One of the easiest ways to get to our website, which is where you will search, is through Okta. You'd click on the Phillips Library button that you'll find in your apps. And whatever page you land on, you will see this big search box. And this is something that allows you to search across everything the library has to offer. So I'm going to talk a lot about searching in this. This is called Spartan Search, and I'm a big fan. I will note that the default is everything, but you can click the drop down and select iShare, which basically is a group of Illinois academic libraries, meaning that you can search all these other libraries' collections and, in fact, borrow books from any of their collections, which is a really wonderful resource. You can access so much through Interlibrary Loan. Now, one thing I will note is that Spartan Search is particularly powerful, as most library searching is, when we take advantage of the advanced search. And in particular, if you need to filter by peer-reviewed, which is a common thing you will be asked to do by your instructors, I encourage you, after you search, to scroll down on the left side where you can filter by the peer-reviewed journals. However, when you're searching using the fields, the page you're seeing right here, there is an option to filter by a start date. So if your teacher tells you you need materials from the last 5 years, you could put in a start year of 5 years earlier. Now, when you find something you're interested in, if it's a physical item, it will tell you where it's at in the library. But as I said, most of our resources are digital. And so instead, what you'll need to do is see where it is digitally. So under View Online, or sometimes you'll see Access Online, there's text that says Full Text Availability, and then you would just click one of those links. So here we have EBSCOhost CINAHL Complete, Free eJournals, Nursing and Allied Health Database. All of those should have what you need. You could click any of them. Now, it's important when you're saving a research article or a resource that you find in a library database to do so correctly. And so what that looks like often is using a permalink. That is a permanent link, and it is often indicated by a chain link icon, as you see under Send To here. This is a link that you could copy and paste somewhere else, and it would bring you back to your source every time. Often students make the mistake of copying the web address or bookmarking the page, and both of those are links that may not bring you back to your resource because of the way that you're authenticated and how that chain of information looks to the computer. So it's important to save correctly. If you want to use a link, the permalink is a great option. If not, you are welcome to do things like downloading the PDF, saving the citation, whatever works for you. That permalink is definitely our friend, though. As I mentioned earlier, Interlibrary Loan is quite powerful. If we don't own an item, we can usually get it from another library. So I talked about iShare. You'd choose a different option from the drop-down to search the collection of books that you can get through partner libraries. Those are physical items. If you are looking at an item, as we saw on this last page, and you don't see the option to view the full text, you will then instead see the option to request that item through Interlibrary Loan. This type of interlibrary loan we call TAPASA. And what that means for you is that when you click that button, you'll fill out a quick form, and then we will get you that material. It usually takes about 1 to 2 business days. Now, nursing specific things. Let's talk about our databases. So I was talking before about how to search across everything, but you can also search in a specific nursing databases. So if you go to A to Z databases, which is a landing page some of you may come to depending on how you get to our website, it's also something you'll find linked underneath the everything bar in the search box where you would search Spartan Search. Underneath that, you'll see A to Z databases on the left. This is what A to Z databases page looks like. So you see we still have Spartan Search at the top, but below that we have the opportunity to select a subject and filter to our topic of choice. I will point out that on the right side of this page, there is an option to report a problem. So if you ever try to open a database and it doesn't work, please let us know. We would love to fix that as quickly as possible. So this is that select a subject dropdown I was talking about. You would click that and then choose nursing, which will then open up a list of the databases that we recommend for nursing. And you'll see we even have highlighted some on the very top. I have an arrow here pointing to Visible Body, which is that online anatomy tool that I mentioned earlier. And we'll talk more about that. Now, why would you choose to use a nursing database as opposed to searching in Spartan Search? Couple reasons. One is just that you won't hear from other fields as much, so you won't necessarily hear from a psychologist in a nursing database, which often is useful because you may not be as interested in their perspective. You need the perspective of your own field or discipline. The other reason is because they have really useful filters and search tools. So, for example, in nursing and allied health, you can choose to filter by the age group of the patient that's being described. In CINAHL, that CINAHL database, there's an option to filter by evidence-based practice and by any author is a nurse. It's important to note that when you're searching in databases, they're like an individual collection of materials. So it's like a box or a bucket of information. So if you search in one box and you don't find everything you need, that doesn't mean your material doesn't exist. You just might need to search for it in a different box, or in this case, in a different database. I also want to highlight that on the right side of A to Z databases, you will see research guides when you've filtered by your subject area. So when it's filtered by nursing, you will see nursing databases, or I'm sorry, nursing research guides. These are guides that have been created by librarians to support your research needs. And I highly recommend taking a look at those. So I've mentioned Visible Body twice now. You would access it from A to Z databases, but then there's a few steps. When you first open it, you will see the pop-up that you see on the left. And you'll notice at the bottom, there's a string of different possible softwares. Only one of them is colored in though, and that's the one we'll click. The Anatomy and Physiology collection is the one that we can offer. And then there's actually another pop-up that you'll get that you see on the right, and it's important that you click that launch button. From there, you'll sometimes get a loading screen that lasts for a while, but once it's open, it runs smoothly and you shouldn't have much lag. It's just that the first part of getting it started that can sometimes be a little bit slow. We do have a subject guide for nursing, so you would have seen that listed in the research guides on the A to Z page. But I also have it listed here. You can access it using libguides.aurora.edu/nursing. And you'll find all kinds of useful resources here, including a section specifically about where you can find statistics about health in the United States as well as globally. So let's talk about getting help. I've talked about LibGuides as a resource, but the other important resource is individuals, librarians ourselves. We are experts at searching for information, not just in library databases, but across the web, and we love helping students. We can help you when you're trying to search, improving that, just figuring out where to go in a database, what different buttons mean. We can help you identify research that fits the criteria you have for your assignment and help you navigate government resources to find health statistics or other types of data. We also have workshops that we offer throughout the semester. You can find a list of what we have available when you're watching this, available at libguides.aurora.edu/workshop. And we have online tutorials. So I talked about LibGuides, but if you click the help button on our homepage, it will take you to a page where you see a number of different options, including our tutorials. You can also get there directly by typing in libguides.aurora.edu/tutorials. So these give you step-by-step instructions for common questions. And perhaps students' favorite option is using our Ask a Librarian chat. So when you are having a question, you can talk directly to a librarian immediately, anytime that we're open to get assistance. You can also submit a question. So when you are looking at that A to Z page up at the top, there was a help button. And when you click that, you will see a form that allows you to ask a question and get a response via email. This is great for when you're really in a rush and don't have time for a live chat, or if it's the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. And you can also call us or text us. Both of these are great options. You can call us at 630-844-7534 and text us at 630-796-7615. And last but not least, by any measure, is making an appointment with us. This allows you to complete your assignment, so to make progress on your assignment, while at the same time building up your skills so that you're more confident the next time you need to do this. You'll work one-on-one with a librarian to search and to troubleshoot and find the material that you need. You can get to this through Academic Support Net. This is another app you'll find in your Okta, and you can find us by choosing the Research with a Librarian schedule. So it will default to a page for writing and academic tutors, and you will need to select the schedule dropdown to make an appointment with a librarian. Last but not least, if you are trying to open a resource and it's not going the way you think it should, definitely try hopping in a chat, but you can also click the report a problem option so that we know that there's an issue and we can fix it. We'll let you know when that issue is resolved so that you can access it and it will be fixed for the next person. Like I said before, you'll also find the option on the A to Z page. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you've learned a lot about how the library and librarians can help support you. We would love if you followed us on social media. We post search tips and reminders about events that we have coming up, both for fun and for learning. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Happy searching!